Who would like that? Picture if you get pulled over, the police are like, hey, I'm going to need to see your phone, and make sure you don't have anything I deem as the Islamic police that's okay. It's not normal. On top of that, specific movies, books, they're all banned, and people are saying, oh, Iran's a great place to live. Someone's going to come up, and I don't want to be discriminate towards left, right. Someone's going to come up and rights in Iran. Then there are here in the U.S. No, there's not. Fact. Zero argument. No, there's not. I'm not describing America, Gen Z. I figured someone would. I'm describing Iran. How bad it is. Unbelievably bad it is. They implemented a martial law. I posted a video on this on February 2nd. They implemented a martial law, which, by the way, if you cared about Iran's constitution, which no one does, including them, it's unconstitutional. But they declared a martial law that if you leave your house, started at 7 o'clock, after 7 p.m., for any reason whatsoever, they have military vehicles perusing the city. Anyone they see, without questions, they have orders to eliminate. And now I want you to just think about this, because a lot of those people who were driving those and pulling the triggers were not even your Iranian citizens. Those were your Iranian government hired outside militias to do their dirty work for them. And last piece, and then I'll bring someone up. Let's talk about what happens if one of your family members or friends doesn't come back protesting. We had 2 family friends that this happened to. A day, 2 days, at some point, you have to realize that something bad may have happened to your kid or your loved one. And so you need closure. So you go to the closest center that they have by your house. And these centers are government centers that have literally body bag after body bag after body bag just sitting there, surrounded by these MFers who are armed, who did this to your kids. And it's your responsibility to go unzip and look and find the one that you're looking for. There's no organization to this. You might go to 1 center, 2 center, 3 center, 5 center, you might not find them. But eventually, let's say you get lucky and you do find it, so at least you have that closure. They make you claim the body. 2 things need to happen. They make you pay for the round that it took to do that to your kid. You have to pay to get the body out. Their logic is, your kid or your loved one was such a scum to the earth that you should reimburse us for the ammunition it cost us to do that to your kid. Second thing they do is they make you go on record saying that it was an outside T group that did it. So that our Archie can go on there and be like, people of America, we were attacked by T group. You guys are the T group. And if you need any other thing, if you're like, still, you know what, Alex, I don't know if I believe you. Fine. Then explain to me why the Iranian people don't have internet and the government does. Explain that to me. Because their logic is, well, the Mossad is going to know where you're at, so it's dangerous. Okay, then why do you, the people the Mossad is after, have internet? Why does my 30-year-old cousin, who's not done anything, why does she not have internet? Is Mossad really after her? Think about this. Let's use our brains on here. All right, we have someone. Oh, not anymore. That's fine. So for those of you who just joined, Iranian American, I spent 3.5 years in Iran. I've been through some stuff. I was protesting during the 2009 false election of Ahmadinejad while we wait for someone. I'll tell that story. So we actually landed in Germany. It was night, right during the time where they announced the fake election of Ahmadinejad. We were on the plane backed up, then it went back on, and they basically said, hey, you guys need to get out. And we're thinking, what's going on? So long story short, we spend a night. We end up flying to Tehran. When we get there, it was different this time. Normally, our whole family there, the airport's busy. You land in the middle of the night, and people are there waiting for you. This time, I had one cousin. He's like, hey, let's go. Like, what's going on? Like, hey, nice to see you. He's like, yeah, nice to see you. Come on. So he takes us into this car, and he's like, hey, listen, everything's okay. And we're like, what are you talking about? Where is everyone? He's like, listen, everything's okay. This is our driver. Just try to talk to us. Don't worry about it. Just talk to us. And we're like, okay. It was my mother, my brother, and I. And so we're driving down the streets, and it's literally hell on earth. This is the first time, as an American, I have never seen every dumpster, I've just not seen streets full of fire. This is from the people protesting because they want change. Well, what happened? They had the election of Ahmadinejad. 42 million people voted. There was a leaked message that went out 2 hours before the polls closed saying Ahmadinejad won by 63%. Well, the polls closed, and 2 hours later, son of a gun, if they counted 42 million paper votes, and guess what? Someone in chat tell me, guess what Ahmadinejad won by? You guessed it. Yes. 63%. And so the people were pissed. And so they started protesting. So I went there. So long story short, while we're waiting for someone, thank you, Iranian voice, while we're waiting for someone, so we get to Iran, and clearly it's messed up. So we spent a day there, we did nothing. Spent another day, we did nothing. My cousin on the third night was like, hey, you want to go out? So my cousin and uncle, we went out to a very common area to protest. And so we walk around, and think about this, think of like a roundabout that's 3 foot high. So we're walking around this huge street that has this roundabout median thing. And we're taking a lap of just kind of walking around it. And I'm within literally 5 to 10 feet of on top of this median, which is surrounded by IRGC and Basiji people. So it's surrounded by them, and they're all armed. And I'm 10 foot from them, 5, 10 foot from them. And you just feel this tension, you feel this hatred, right? And to be fair, it was relatively peaceful. No one was attacking anyone yet. Until the guy 5 to 10 foot from me, just you sense this rage, just decides to grab one of these IRGC people and pull him down. And needless to say, it got really ugly. When an unarmed man attacks someone who's armed, it doesn't work. And again, I grew up in the Midwest. This is not a common sight for me. And so when the guy attacked, the crowd dispersed. And I literally just stood there frozen like, I can't believe I'm saying this. And then it's like a scene of a movie. I just get yanked away from my cousin. We start running. And when we're running, we were running back to the house. Maybe it wasn't far. And our concern now was because they tried dispersing the crowd, what they do is they'd ride on these motorcycles with these batons and they beat you. So as you're driving, they beat you. And so needless to say, we made it home safely. And then I think we took a flight the next day, maybe the day after. We didn't stay long after that. So hence my story of actually being there in 2009. That's one person. 2022, there were 551 recorded. Estimates are thousands. You talk to anyone there, thousands. They had people on top of rooftops. This is in 2022. They had people on top of rooftops just unloading on people. You get more than 551 when you do that. And if you think that's bad, in 2025, 2026, they did the opposite. What do I mean by that? I mean that the military, the IRGC, not the IRTISH, the military looks up in buildings, sees people on balconies recording, and then unload clips. See the difference here? Now you're not even safe at your own home. There are countless reports of kids being blinded from projectiles while they're in their own home, for whether it be glass or whatever. This guy was never in Iran, so he knows propaganda. Quinterio, I've been in Iran 16, 17 times. If you'd like to do a Q&A on Iran, come on up. If you'd like to quiz me, come on up. من اونجا بودم. من اونجا زندگی کردم. تو تهران بودم. طبقه 4 if you'd like to know. Okay. So we have you know what the good news is that we don't have any IRG support or Iranian government supporters. Joe Mama, I think the Lego videos, they're really good. The horrible message, but whoever makes them is talented. I wish they'd use their talents for good, right? I support the end of the Ayatollah. Thank you, Patriot. I think that's a very logical thing to do. All right, we have a couple people. All right, Mass. Let's just be respectful. Hi, Mass.
Hi there. I support the IRGC.
Could you explain to me why?
Because they have the right to do like this, and it's their land.
So you're saying they have the right to defend themselves. I'm saying, what about the right to hurt their own people?
Well, that's a different topic.
So, okay, well, let's talk about that topic. So how could you support the IRGC if they're willing to do that to their own people? So I understand that you're saying, hey, listen, no one should attack someone and just take it. Fine. But I'm saying that the root of it here is that they are not good. So them being attacked is okay because they're so bad.
But it is a product. They are Iranians themselves. It's like it's a domestic thing. Why should USA interfere?
Okay, you're now saying, okay, I understand what you're saying. You're reverting back to the Iranian government has the right to defend themselves.
Yes.
Okay, I'm saying the Iranian government loses the right to defend themselves when they do a G-site on their own people, when they unalive 40,000 people, civilians.
Yeah, but that's what some media says. The other says there's all kind of information on this. How do you know who to trust?
Okay. That's fine. So here, let's talk about this. What's the number that you think that happened? The number of unalivings?
The number that I heard from Iraqi news, they said it was 4,000 something.
Okay, fine. 4,000. Is 4,000 acceptable?
But do you know what happened?
I do know what happened.
What happened? Have you heard? Do you know who Douglas McGregor is?
I don't know who Douglas McGregor is.
Well, he's been a presidential advisor, and he was the general that led the Iraqi war for the United States. He's a well-educated man.
Okay.
He has connection and ties in CIA and everything, and he gave an interview, and he said that there was a lot of Mossad and CIA agents in there that were killing the people just to increase the numbers.
TikTok-friendly language. So you think Mossad was coming and attacking the people of Iran?
But we all know that Mossad and CIA has tied. They have their agents in Iran since long back. This is not new.
I don't disagree that both of those are true. But I do have a fundamental issue thinking that they would just attack protesters at that large of a scale. Because there's so many people. Don't you think the Iranian people would say, hey, hold on. These people attacking us aren't IRGC in uniform, aren't local police in uniform, aren't the Basij in uniform. These are Mossad agents.
They wouldn't know. How would you know?
Because you know.
No, you don't. If you find them on the street, you see.
We're not talking about 1, 2 people. We're not talking about 1, 2, 3 people. There's 150,000 IRGC members. There's 200,000 active Basiji members. There's a lot of them. 400,000 of them. You think that? Then, if that's the case, why didn't the IRGC and why didn't the Artish step in and get rid of Mossad?
Look, have you seen this video where the guy throws a time-ticking Molotov from the demonstrations? He just throws them on the cops.
Yes, I have seen many of those videos.
How many regular civilian people do you know that can make time-ticking Molotov?
Oh, I didn't see time-ticking ones. I saw many throwing them. But okay, so I guess I just want to understand your point here, Moss. So you're saying you're not entirely convinced that the IRGC did that to their own people. That's fine. Could you just then I guess I have one last question for you. Could you explain to me why there's no internet for the people?
First of all, I'm not saying IRGC is not killing their own people. They probably do.
Last warning, Moss, because I'm going to get kicked out.
What should I not say?
Unalive. You can.
Okay. Look, this regime, the IRGC regime, they have a bad record. They have been unaliving a lot of their. I'm Iranian myself, and my parents lived there. They have unalived a lot of people.
Oh, you're Iranian?
Yes.
Okay, so that's what your accent is?
I guess. Yes.
Gotcha. Do you live in the U.S. now?
No, I live in Denmark.
Oh, you live in Denmark. But you're Iranian, for sure.
Yes.
You could speak Farsi too?
بله.
خیلی خوب?
خب ببین, let's keep it in English.
No, let's not keep it in English. Let's keep going.
No, I would rather keep it in English.
Just show me that you speak Farsi, because I'm not entirely convinced.
من فارسیم زیاد خوب نیست.
Yeah, but if you lived in Iran and both of your parents are from Iran, then it should be khub. Because I only had one parent who lived in Iran, and I only spent 3.5 years there, and mine is very...
We moved when I was a little kid. I'm raised in Denmark, but that's not the point. Look,
No, I think the point is very important, because we have 200 people here who are thinking you're Iranian, and I think it's important to delineate, because I've not met many Iranians who are pro-IRGC.
For the sake of argument, let's say I'm not Iranian.
No, I feel like I'm Borat now saying, the scene where he goes, this dude is black. No, it is gray. It is gray. You're not Iranian. I just want to be clear. Okay, keep going.
Look, let's follow the rationale and the logic here instead of everything else. That will help both of us learn more about it from each other. But I'm not saying the IRGC or the regime is doing bad thing and they're not killing their own people. It is true. I agree that. I know that. And not to the extent that everyone else is painting or making a point of it. The second point about the internet. Every nation during the war, they do all kinds of things. That has to do with the wartime.
No, they did this before wartime. They did this before U.S. attack. They did this as soon as the protests started.
Yeah, they did it because maybe they want to control, maybe they want media. There's all kinds of reasons.
Yeah, I'm totally agreeing. They want to control the narrative. They want to minimize the ability to have a regime change. They want to be able to be sure to oppress the people. I totally agree with what you're saying.
Yes, but look, this regime Is it all these Canadian people? No. These are Iranian people born and raised in Iran. They are supported by millions of people. Haven't you seen these demonstrations on the streets
Yes?
in
So-
support of IRGC?
No, I don't think they're real. I've seen the very poor footage. Think about it. The big cities have CCTV. They have facial recognition to identify a face to go arrest someone, and then the only image they can give me is from a 2004 Nokia flip phone. That's the only camera they have. The only picture they can give me.
My standpoint is I don't agree with, I don't support IRGC. But
Okay.
I don't look, I don't, if I had to pick, I would put them on a side. But the thing is, I don't support the Israelis or the United States taking over. Do you understand? I would pick from bad or worse.
From an Iranian perspective, you're saying.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Mas, we have a long line, and I appreciate you coming up here, and, you know,
You would rather, can I ask you a question? You would rather have the
Pahlavi, 100%.
You would rather have the United States Trump take over Iran?
100%. Yeah, sure. I don't think, listen, I don't think Trump is going to oppress the people the same way the IRGC would. I'm not proposing it. I think the Iranian people need their own government. But if you said, hey, Alex, if you push this button and Trump will now be the leader of Iran, and if I don't push the button, the IRGC stays in.
But Alex, do you know the history of the policies that the United States have applied on the countries they have taken over?
Hey, AJ, could you drop him? I don't know why I'm getting the thing's not letting me. I think I gave you the thing. Thank you. Sorry, I don't know why my thing is not working now. For the record, definitely not Iranian. And I think that's important because, well, if you're lying about what you are, then what else are you lying about? And on top of that, I don't understand why you have to lie. Exactly, Rosie. That was 1,000,000% not a Denmark, nor an Iranian accent. I mean, it could be a Denmark mixed with something, but that was not. Listen, for those of you who don't know what a Persian accent sounds like, I'm gonna crush it. Ready? Everybody, okay, listen to me very carefully. Listen. What are you talking about? This is more so like when you do speaking of the Persian, this is how you do talking, okay? It's IRGC is a very bad people, okay? They're no good. Does this make sense? That's like an 8 out of 10. I could probably do better if I thought about it more. Thank you, Farnas. Okay, we had a bunch. Denmark mixed with a bus. Denmark mixed with a bus. An elevator. Bro, you don't know stuff about anything. I know a little about a lot, and I know a lot about a little. How about that? You gotta chill. I agree. Afghani. Okay. He is Afghanistan. He didn't have the, like that Afghani. You really think U.S. is concerned about the regime? Gabriel, I think it's time we tell this story because we haven't said it for a while. This is, I think, a very important viewpoint to take. First of all, the Iranian people are not dumb. Actually, it's a very educated group of people who value education. And we're not ignorant. Okay? There's very clearly can be alternative motives, ulterior motives, whatever the word is, alternative motives. So here's my favorite thing. Let's make this interactive. If you see a 5-year-old who's being beaten by his mother, the mother's disciplining, sure, but beating him to the point where this 5-year-old is not going to make it. The 5-year-old is going to be on the line. Would you intervene? So you're walking by, you see a mother beating a 5-year-old to the point where the 5-year-old is unalived. Are you going to intervene? Give me a 1 if you will intervene. 2 if you're like, not my business. Give me a 1. Hey, Miss Darlene. Give me a 1 if you'd intervene. Give me a 2 if you're like, nope, not my business. I'm just going to ignore it. 1, Kaveh, welcome. 1. Okay, we don't have any 2s today. Mama Bear 2. Surprising, Mama Bear with the username of Mama Bear is a 2. Okay. 1, absolutely. 1. Okay, so here's my thought. It's a very easy metaphor to connect. The Iranian people were getting beaten by their parent to the point where they were being unalived. 4,000 if you want to take Moss's number that he just pooled. 45,000 if you want to take Trump's number. Pick a number. Now, the issue is you're going to be like, yeah, but here's the issue. Trump didn't care about the Iranian people. Netanyahu didn't care about the Iranian people. Fine, let's change our story. Simple. Let's say that same mother was unaliving this 5-year-old to the point, beating him to the point where the 5-year-old's unalive. But she had this gold purse. She had this purse with gold in it. Okay? and Trump is walking by. And in fact, the only reason he notices this purse is because the mother is using it to beat the kid. So he goes up and he pushes over the mother, takes the purse, roughs her up a little, and then walks away. From the eyes of the 5-year-old, he does not care what the intentions are of the man who did that. He cares about the opportunity that he has that he didn't have before. Now he can go run. Now he has a chance. His chances of survival prior to that, 0. His chances now, 0.25%. Whatever it is, it's higher than it was before. I think that's a really good metaphor to understand. That like, look, that 5-year-old, he doesn't care right now about the mother. He doesn't have the luxury of caring about the why. He has to care about the opportunity that he has to make a change. Does that make sense? Why are you acting like Iranian protesters were innocent? Listen, at that point, it was almost a civil war, right? And when one side has military-grade stuff and the other has nothing, that's pretty innocent. And then on top of that, I would challenge you, how many of those 3.5 million were truly innocent, peaceful? Vast majority. Vast majority. The ones who deserve ribbons around their neck weren't. Does that make sense? I hope that example makes sense. They were armed by America. They attacked police. So, Eugene, I'm seeing a lot of that now. And America did admit, Trump said, we dropped weapons, but, whoever we gave them to, they liked them so much, they're beautiful, they kept them. I think that might have been a show. Because I'm seeing a lot of these little internal 2, 3, 4 people groups doing drive-bys and things of that nature, picking apart some of the IRGC and Basij groups. So I think they do have some stuff now. I don't think they did during the protests. People would have heard about it, right? Kurds kept them. Kaveh, I heard the same thing, but think about it for a second. What happens if they didn't? What happens if that was just a narrative of Trump to bring the guard down of the IRGC, right? Because here's my logic, and I could totally be wrong. But if Trump goes, hey, we tried, they didn't get anything, then if I'm an IRGC guy on post, I'm not nearly as nervous as if I know that there are people out there who are looking. So maybe it could be, I don't know. Okay. We have a bunch of people who want to request. Okay. Hugh Janus. I can't, I'm not going to bring up a Hugh Janus. Okay, let's bring up Jordan for a second. Trump literally said, spinning to fit your narrative. Justin, no, I'm saying it could absolutely be the case. But I guess it doesn't matter, right? Like, he tried, thank you, try again. Okay, they didn't want to try. Jordan Kesif, okay. Of course there are, Democrats are certain. I very much do. Who are you? I feel like I've seen you before. No, 40. Okay, I want to join the live. Butterfly, then push the request, and you can. All right. I'm going to bring up my friend Kaveh. Now, if you were here last time, we've had post conversations which were much more civil. I think we got up on them. But hey, Kaveh, welcome.
What's up, Alex? How are you doing?
I'm well. How are you?
Good, man. It's just the guy who said that you're spinning the story to fit your narrative. It really astonishes me that people still take what Trump says today as what he means. You know what I mean? The fact that people still take Trump at his word.
Yeah, you have to judge our actions, not so much the words with him.
Yeah. And what we've seen over the past few months is he uses his words and his tweets and stuff to confuse people so that he can implement his strategy behind the confusion. That's his modus operandi. And people who don't understand that by now, it seems like still 90% of Americans, or maybe 75% of Americans, still don't understand that. And that's mind-boggling to me, because that is a repeated pattern over the past 10 years.
I'd agree with you. A lot of the times he said, we're making great talks and peace, and then he attacks. Right?
Yeah.
So I agree. Deception is something that he's done in the past. And now, Kaveh, just to reiterate, either Trump is the luckiest person ever because of what he said, how things just played out, or there's some strategy behind it. And I think we're put to the point where he's ran out of luck. I think it has to have some strategy.
Yeah, exactly. And people getting, I wish that people would just kind of slow down instead of reacting to every bit of news of the day. Like, let the plan play out. Like, people were freaking out that we weren't attacking the IRGC right after the protest. I mean, that's a major operation. You have to get a ton of aircraft carriers in there. You have to get Navy, and Trump, by saying like, oh, they let the 800 protesters who are going to get executed go. That's just his tactic of delaying and confusion, and he's doing the same thing right now as the U.S. military is reloading on their ammunition. Right? It's the same exact thing. They're negotiating, quote unquote, but then they're going to get bombed in like a week or two once we're re-upped on our stockpile.
We'll see. What's your opinion on the latest of the ceasefire? Now it seems like it was a kicking of the can, but with no date this time. It's just that my logic is that the blockade is causing immense pressure, and that they're going to want to do something in some way, shape, or form.
I think there's two things happening. I think that Trump doesn't give a crap about the blockade. I think it's actually part of the strategy to cut off China's oil supply and create more oil profits for the United States, which we are the number one producer of crude oil in the world. If gas prices go up $2 for average Americans, I really don't think Trump cares. I think he's seeing this in the long term. And I think this isn't just about freeing Iran. It's about taking down and stopping BRICS, right? Because BRICS, if they became the dominant economic force in the world over the United States, we would be the peasants in the world. And we don't want that to happen. So I do think that Trump is seeing this from a very long term. I'm not I was not a Trump fan. I wouldn't call myself a fan, but I from what I've seen recently, I'm actually very impressed by his foreign policy strategy. And depending on how things go over the next couple of years, he could be seen as one of the greatest foreign policy masters of the 21st century.
I think we're in for an interesting time, and I think time is going to tell us a lot.
No, of course it will. Yeah, we'll let it play out. I might be completely wrong, too. But you asked my opinion about the current truce. Again, I think it's just a delay tactic in order to strategize the next phase. That's my opinion.
Makes sense to me. There has to be a reason. And I don't think it's because the Iranian news are saying U.S. is begging for it because we've been pounding them so long. I don't think that's the case.
Of course they're saying that.
So for sure. But Kaveh, I really appreciate you coming up, and thank you we had a fantastic, healthy message outside of it. I'm glad we were able to connect.
Yeah, keep it up, man. Let me know if I can help.
I appreciate it, Kaveh.
All right, see ya.
Bye-bye. Fantastic. He has an incredible page. You guys should take a peek at it. His videos are so interesting. Okay. All right. We have Kate T. Let's see you, KT. We also have Kinataru. You've been there. KT, I'm going to bring Kinataru on. If you're still there, I can bring you up next. How do we say this right? Kintaro.
Yeah, how you doing?
Hi.
Hi.
Bring up Ubros. Okay, we'll bring her up next.
So, my friend, my problem with people like you is you deny so much truth and say always, yeah, the Iranians, they want to be free and they deserve it and this and that. First, my problem is you started with the lies about 40,000 people died in Iran while the protests. This was not right, and you know it.
What was right?
The truth is, Trump even himself admitted it, that he sends the weapon with Mossad.
Okay.
True
but
or
what's
not?
the number?
Is it right or not?
No, it's not right. What's the number?
First, tell me, did Trump say it? Is it true for...
The only time I heard Trump say he sent weapons was a few weeks ago when he tried to give weapons to the Kurds.
Okay, so it's right.
Okay, so it's right.
Okay.
But wait, how
he
many
sent the
people?
weapons and
How many
the
people?
the footage of this was already out in January.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't see it until, my family was sending it to me from their phones. But that's good to know. Okay.
This is what I tell. You see only what you want to see.
Yeah, no, for sure. How many people, though?
So it was 1,000 monarchists. They got weapons for him.
Okay.
And they shoot into the crowd of 10,000 people that was demonstrating because of the
only
currency.
10,000 were out.
It don't matter, 10,000, 20,000, 30,000. They was there for the currency. They demonstrated.
Yeah.
They demonstrated for the currency.
Right.
And the
That's
1,000
true.
people with
That's true.
Mossad, listen, with Mossad, they shoot into the crowd.
My hands are here. I didn't do it. I didn't do it. I'm losing brain cells. Others said 30,000. They only show us what they want. That's why they cut off the internet. Dakwa. For the record, I was being facetious. I don't think Trump, I didn't see any videos of Trump arming the Mossad and having them go do protesters in January. The one thing that he did say that was factual is that it did start from an economic solution, and that's the UN slapped on a new set of sanctions. The exchange rate got to 1.5 million IRR to 1 USD, and it got to the point where the people in the bazaar, think about this for a second, they could not sell the goods at the cost that it would take for them to pay to resupply them. That's how fast the inflation happened. So what happened is they shut down and they went to the streets. That's a fact. And why that's such a big deal is because the last time they did that was in 79, and it caused a revolution. So when that happened, what my friend was missing was that the people from 2022, the Massa Amini stuff, joined in with them, the Zens and the Yazidi stuff. So we're close, but no cigar. I'm here. I have a rather negative view of Trump, and would love to chat if you want. Okay. All right. It was Katie's turn. She's waiting. Kinataro. I don't know what happened, but I'll bring you on after. Oh, no. Shit, I clicked the wrong person. Sorry, Darlene. It slipped. Hi, Kate.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Life is good. Can't complain. What's going on?
I take a little bit of issue with calling Trump a genius strategist in the sense that he just kind of does stuff and then justifies it on the back half of like, oh, I did it to secure a better deal or whatever. Like, he just does all this reckless stuff that kills people. Like, I'm a
TikTok
Navy
friendly
vet.
language, Kate. They're going to get me in trouble.
Sorry.
I'm listening. Go ahead.
I'm a Navy vet, and it breaks my heart to know that my fellow, brothers and sisters of arms, are committing war crimes. I don't know if that's TikTok not friendly, but like they're doing things that aren't great. And I know some of them are protesting. I talked to them. Like, I know there are protests on those ships that are doing on the blockade. Like, they're clogging up the plumbing of the ship to be able to stop the ship from going forward. Like, there are people who are dissenting because there are like when I was in basic, we were trained, just because you're ordered to do something does not give you, like, you don't have to follow an unjust order. Like, the Nazis and their excuse of, oh, I was just following orders, I was just doing this, was not good enough to spare them from the, being tried for their war crimes. You know what I mean?
Let me make sure. I want to make sure I understand. First of all, I just want to make sure. Thank you again for your service. I hear what you're saying. So, okay, it sounds like your real issue, and you said it in text. It sounds like your real issue with Trump, and that you don't think Trump is. Sorry, I have this squishy thing that I've been playing with, and it exploded on me. It sounds like your issue is with Trump, and you think that he just says stuff and does stuff, which is, look, it looks a lot like that, right? Because I totally understand what he says, and he comes off as a loose cannon, but so far, for the most part, from my lens, which is very skewed, right, towards wanting a change of government for the Iranian people, I think what he's doing is relatively brilliant. And so maybe the words that he uses, that's what Kaveh was saying before, that the words that he uses are
just
because, you gotta go
I'm sorry to cut you off,
no,
but just
okay.
because his actions benefit you and your people does not mean that he is a good choice. Like, it's a lateral move at best. Like, yes, it is your metaphor of pushing the mother over so it stops beating the child. That does not mean that Mugger was a good person. You know what I mean? Like, you can agree with, what you can get out of him, and you can exploit that for what it is, but that does not mean what he's doing is good or sane or, worthy of all of these innocent lives lost.
Okay, Kate, I think first of all, I think we're not that far off. I think we have a lot.
Yeah.
Where we're at. So let me just ask you this stuff. You've heard the stories, I'm assuming, about the IRGC.
I have not.
To people. Okay,
I have not. I'm very ignorant, and that's why I'm here.
I'm personally inviting you to come. Typically, I start the lives out by giving a really dark history of it. But let me just ask you this. Just bear with me on this, mind you. Look, war is not good. War is going to have a lot of bad to it. And there could be really ill-intended reasoning. Let's even assume, for the sake of this conversation, that the real reason why they're in Iran is bad.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying, though, is you and I, Kate, don't get to have any say on the why. However, what I'm trying to do is show, hey, the byproduct of this really bad thing that we're doing, which is war, comes with a really, really, really beautiful opportunity for 92 million people. And those 90 million, in my mind at least, whatever bad ill intent there is could not be nearly as bad as the ill intent that the IRGC has against their own people.
Okay. I understand where you're coming from, for sure. And I like the idea of, all those people benefiting, however they can, because, it's awful that it was war, that's the way they benefit, but benefit where benefit is. But I'm coming from the perspective of part of being the American people. So we're suffering here right now. Like, we have basically places that we are taking humans that we think are illegal and putting them in horrible, horrible conditions. And we have so much going on in our own borders that how are we still doing these things over there? You know what I mean? Like, why are we even doing? And they're just
Kate,
like, oh, for oil, for trade, blah, blah, blah.
That
But
goes back to the same point that we had before, where even, for me, it's easy to understand. And that understanding is that the Iranian people, without question, just went through a massacre. And so whatever issues we have at home pale in comparison to what those people did. And I tend to view myself as a humanist or a globalist or whatever that word that doesn't get me in trouble when I say is, where I think if there's something bad happening, then, I don't think you're going to like this, Kate, but I think someone needs to go there and make things better. And unfortunately, the U.S. is in that position. So purely on that lens, I can kind of see. But I hear that we have our own problems. You're saying, listen, we're spending so much money over there. We could have used that money here. We could have eliminated hunger. Or we could have helped build 100 schools or 10,000 schools or whatever. I hear that point. And that point's not invalid. But at the same time, that becomes an allocation of resources issue, not a, do we do it for that?
But I'm also saying, yes, it does have a benefit, but there's another consequence, shutting down the Strait of Hormuz. What is that doing to the global economy at large? Raising the food costs, raising all of the trade. We are that. What we're doing, and yes, we're helping one people, having a global effect. We are ruining our relationships with every other country, our credibility, our ability to protect ourselves and defend other people. We are losing more than globally and it's great that there are some people that can gain from it, but if we're looking at it from a global perspective and as an American, it's not a good look, and it's not only not a good look, it's not a good move for the world at large.
Let me ask you one last question, Kate. If the Iranian government had the N weapon, do you think they'd use it?
I don't know. I think there's a lot of, complication that goes with, I can only think of that one meme of the end of the world. I don't know if you saw it. It's a YouTube thing where one person fires off the missiles, which causes another person to fire off the missiles, and then boom, the end of the world. So, there's a level of...
So you're not sure?
Well, I'm saying is they would use that technology for, energy and resources. Could they make a bomb with it? Yeah, probably, if they have that kind of technology to do the energy stuff. So, they could make it. Could they use it? Yeah, a toddler could pick up a gun and shoot somebody.
If they had it,
you could, they could.
No,
Are they going to? I don't know.
If in your mind, you were 100% sure that they would use it as soon as they got it, the day that they have it developed, the day they're going to send it off to Israel, and then they're going to send it off to London because they're just like that. If that was 100% the case, in your mind, or let's say it was fact, let's say it was factually guaranteed that the leader is as soon as we do this, we're gonna, then do you have an issue with what's going on?
Well, yeah, I also wouldn't hand a loaded gun to a toddler. You know what I mean? Like I
yeah,
weigh
but
the
Kate, my
risk
point
benefit.
is-
If I was guaranteed destruction, if I was guaranteed a bad outcome, why? Yeah, of course I wouldn't do that. That's a law.
So then, if you in your heart of hearts knew that as soon as Iran got it, they're going to use it, then you would be okay with intervening.
I don't know that, and I am but one person, and I recognize that. Like, I can vote one way, but if a mass amount of people around me vote a different way, then that's how it is, you know?
For sure.
It will be what it's going to be.
For sure. I really appreciate you coming up, and I thank you for your service.
Well, thank you for your time.
Okay.
I like this conversation.
Thank you, Kate. Thanks a bunch. I hope, please come and listen to the history at some point.
I will. I definitely want to learn more.
Sounds fantastic. I don't know why I'm no longer able to, I lost my moderator.
Let me see if I can leave then.
AJ, Katie, I can't do it. I'm sorry. I don't know why. I think my thing glitches a lot. So, I've not been able to have a banner here anymore. You know how I used to have a banner with Dave? Thank you, TikTok.
What happened?
Oracle buys them, and then what happens? Okay. Sorry, I'll try to do. No worries, love. That's right. Goodbye, Kate. Oh, that's okay. First of all, thank her for her service, right? Please don't thank her for her service. She didn't serve. Well, if she didn't serve, that's really bad. But I'm gonna assume that she served. Tell her to go peacefully. Okay. U.S. is the only nation ever dropped two, and they treat to use it on Iran. I think the word is threat. When Iran got attacked, what did they do? Any of you are technologically savvy. They pushed Control A and then Enter on whomever they could. Hey, Ren, the U.S. is responsible for a lot of what happened with the government of Iran. Ren, you're absolutely right. 1953, sorry, Kaveh, still am convinced 1953 had something to do with the U.S. Do you want to take the chance? Should we take the chance? I think that's good. Okay. Both of you, Kim and Pamela, said the same thing. If Iran had it, they'd use it. No question. They have banners. They have billboards that say, unalive to America, unalive to Israel. In general, governments don't put that stuff up for fun. They do it with intent. And is it brainwashing intent? Could be. Is it working? No. But it's probably working to the IRGC people. And on top of that, especially with this government, who's in control? Who's in charge right now? Seriously, even Trump's latest tweet was like, because they don't know who's in charge, we have to pick, we're going to kick the can. And I don't think they do know who's in charge. I saw a Persian news report. They said 90 people went there. 90 people went the last time to Islamabad to negotiate. 90 people, 4 planes. You don't send 90 people to negotiate. If anyone's ever negotiated, the lower the number of people, the better. You don't get anything negotiated with 90 people. So it's a no-brainer, Kate, that if they had it, that they'd use it. Math, that's not very nice. Okay. LMO. Okay. I absolutely agree. I like those billboards. No, you don't. Israel hits people and we do nothing. Love your lives, Alex. Thank you, Ren. Hey, Ren, thank you. We have the same ending, but different ways of getting there, and I'd like to talk about it. So it says that you're a recent guest. Hey, we have Mully. Let me bring Mully up real quick. Hey, Mully.
Hey Alex, how are you?
Good, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Just real quick,
Sure.
I just wanted to add something to your example of watching a mother hit her child, exaggerately, let's say that.
Yeah.
It's not only that the problem that she hits her own child, but she hits other children as well. Don't forget that they
That's
attacked all the neighboring countries. They've been attacking Israel for decades through the proxies, and they've been unaliving Americans and Europeans all over the world
Very fair.
in terror attacks. So don't forget that.
Very
Another
fair.
thing that I wanted to add, don't forget another thing. All the previous presidents, all of them, no exceptions, have all talked about preventing Iran from having nukes. All of them, with no exception. They all said we do whatever we need to prevent them from having nukes. But all of a sudden, just because Trump is the only one with the balls to actually take an action of it, then all the crazy leftists and jihadists and the terrorist supporters, they try to justify and say, yeah, the IRGC has a right to defend it. Like, really? They've been attacking Americans and Westerners for decades. It's not self-defense. They are the aggressors.
I 100% with what you agree. And I 100% agree with what you said. And I also like the addition to that story. You're right. The mother is a chronic abuser of children. So
Yeah, to other children, not only to herself. So it's a common interest. The best way to make peace in the Middle East is to remove the cancer of the IRGC and its
100%.
proxy.
Wally, I agree with everything you said.
Yeah, I know. Thanks. I'll see you then.
Appreciate you. Thanks again.
Have a good one.
You too. Okay. Love it. Army Israel Chai. I like the addition, for example. I think it was a great one. You guys. Okay, Trump is the only one who is walking the walk. This guy is Israeli. I totally agree. Blah, blah, blah. Seraphim. That's not very nice. Come and talk to me, Seraphim. The one thing the IRGC does really well is delay tactics. They know Trump is a problem for them. Dad, I agree with you. Look at the hostage thing, 444 days. It's crazy how many people are not ashamed to be anti-Semitic out loud in public. Pamela, I totally agree with you. And like, I have a friend, and I said this all the time, you probably know Pamela, but I have one of my really, really good friends is Jewish, and he's super duper, like, posting stuff every day. And he always complains, like, dude, people are so hateful. And I'm like, okay, to be fair, I don't want to say his name. To be fair, you post like 900 things, a lot of which are provocative. And he's like, no, I literally get threats daily. And I'm like, okay. I think he's a little dramatic. I'm like, okay. Now all of a sudden I'm like, he really gets threats daily. So I have no idea why some poor guy in the Midwest who's done nothing is getting threats for supporting a nation. It just doesn't make sense to me. So Pamela, I totally agree. And then we're back to Seraphim, who will not come up to me. Seraphim won't come up, but she'll say blah, blah, blah. Are you talking about Zane Walker? I am not talking about Zane Walker, but I did Google who he is. He seems like a nice guy. Blue balls and blue hair, Wild Night. Wow, you guys are really having fun in the comments. Sadly, many U.S. people's mindset have bought into responding in fear mongering. Tilly, I agree. Yes, I did before, but I'd like to talk again. I don't remember you, but I'll bring you up. Listen, if you're crazy, though, AJ, Cade, you're on the lookout, okay? If you're crazy, please don't keep me stranded here with someone. But if they're cool, then it's no problem. Hello.
Oh, hey, hi, how are you doing, Alex?
Good. I'm well. How about yourself?
Doing well. So you did open my eyes about, we talked, I think, more about the Iranian protests when we first talked, right? And you did open my eyes up, and I kind of researched a lot more into it, right? About what's going on.
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to be rude, but what was your old profile picture or something? Because I'm not recognizing it.
It was
And I want to try to remember.
Oh, I kind of changed it. It was, I think it was my face, but
Okay. Okay,
But-
anyway, that's fine. So pardon me for not remembering the conversation, but please.
no, it's very much okay. I see you're on live a lot and talk to a lot of people, and I think I kind of looked at like Iran's population of being more upset. Of a lot of different factors of like sanctions, kind of being over with the IRGC's government, right? And there's a multitude of like kind of wanting more freedom of being who they want, right? There's a multitude of factors of why Iran's population was kind of over the regime, right?
Okay.
And that's why they were protesting. I think it was a 70-30 split.
70-30 being.
70 over it, 30 being for it.
Okay.
And with that being said, I think we agree that most people were over it, but I do always believe, for me, when a population is pretty much over a regime change, the regime change should be coming within the country, because what we see is when foreign adversaries, especially I'm personally only saying Israel and the United States, who are very much imperialist powers, right, get involved, they're very much, I would say, war criminal countries that do bomb infrastructures, do bomb.
You can't say that word, but keep going.
It's my part. They do heinous things, right,
Okay.
to very innocent people, and that's where I think that we don't agree on, right?
No,
And-
I totally agree with that too. I just want to recap. You're saying that, okay, you agree the Iranian people don't support the government. Fantastic. Our percentages are different. Fine. then you're saying, however, even if they don't agree, getting rid of the regime should be an internal thing. The Iranian people should figure out how to get rid of the regime on their own and not have outside sources do it.
And I do think it's a lot harder said than done.
Totally agree. I am agreeing with everything you said. There's no debate here. The issue is that Trump did something, and he gave the people a catalyst. Ideally, it would have happened from within, but the Iranian people, to your point, easier said than done. They have nothing against the military.
And I've found out a lot of times because of the sanctions, right? A lot of poor people, right, do join the IRGC out of desperation.
Yes, there are some, for sure. Because you get food, you get house, and you get a little dollars.
Yep.
That happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What happened is with the attacks, what I would say, right, is
Sure.
when you attack a country indiscriminately, it unites the people, right?
Okay. Yes.
I would say it's kind of united the people who are kind of against it, because with the indiscriminate attacks, it's kind of put people like saying like, hey, I was for them, right? I was for the regime change. I was against this government, but like, hey, I was on your side, but I've lost a daughter now. I've lost a son.
100%. Let me pause you there. I'm excited because this is the exact verbiage from the president of Iran. He said, when war inflicts irreparable harm on lives, homes, cities, and futures, people will not remain indifferent towards those responsible, which is saying the same thing, right? When war hits, people aren't going to forgive the ones who did it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. How many civilian casualties has there been from the U.S.?
From like
in Iran?
I will say I do not know.
1 to 2,000.
Okay.
Last I checked. Based on your research, how many civilian casualties were there in the protests?
I will say my estimate truly, when the internet got taken out, right?
Mm-hmm.
I would say about 20,000.
20,000. So there are 10 to 20 times more people who were affected by the government hitting their own people than the outside source. Don't you think that the Iranian people would have banded together and had that internal hatred towards the government more so then than when the outside force attacks? The outside force was the government.
But I will say, I don't want to say that, okay, are we talking about complete deaths or, so when it comes to like Iran hitting like bases, right? Around the Gulf, I would say there's about a little bit, I would say it's about like 2,000.
No, we're talking about American hitting people inside the country of Iran, which are civilians that are no longer alive.
Oh,
You said 1 to 2,000. All right. So
yeah, 2,000. Yeah, 2,000. Yes.
And then your own number was 20,000 unalives from the Iranian government to their own people.
Correct. Okay. Yeah. Correct.
Don't you think in the minds of the Iranians, your government's supposed to protect you. Your government attacking you is more impactful than an outside group who, by the way, is at like a 7-to-1 ratio of getting out IRGC people to civilians.
But that's where I say the disconnect, the small disconnect happens. It's wrong, but here's, because I will say that this is where the disconnect happens a little bit. All I will say is this, because right when Khomeini died, Israel did brag, say we've had CCTV footage, right? And when Ismail Hayani died, right, they did brag that they said that we have had Mossad agents in the country, right?
Okay.
In Iran, right?
Okay.
Because when Khomeini died, they said Israel was the first to announce, and then the United States announced, hey, we confirmed his death before Iran even did.
Okay.
And immediately everyone's like, okay, there's Mossad agents there, right?
Okay.
And then people have speculated that the person who, I think 2 people before me, right, who said that, there were CIA agents and Israeli agents, right, in the country that were arming people. That's not right.
Okay, my friend. I'm trying to bear with you. I'm completely lost. Summarize it into a sentence for me.
I'll summarize it really quickly, right? I do believe that there were Mossad agents in the country agitating people, right? To do abhorrent violence, to agitate Iranian protesters to extremes, right? To target police officers.
That doesn't sound that doesn't seem that it's outside of the realms of physics or possibilities.
Yes,
But
that would
fine.
put Iranian protesters in more harm's way than it should have.
Okay. The Iranian people were looking for an opportunity to go out and to do something. They want change. They've wanted change for 47 years.
Correct.
In 2022, they went out and were protesting. Was Mossad there too? You could say yes, and I'd say the same thing. You'd be like, I mean, okay, it's not outside of the realms of physics to have an agent inside who's rallying crews. Fine. But what I'm getting at is they must have been really, really good ralliers because they got up to 3.5 million people. And you can't brainwash 3.5 million people out on the streets, right? You've researched it.
No, yes.
So if the spark of it was because of the Mossad people, and if that spark of it led to where we are today, and if where we are today, fast forward 10 years, leads to a free Iran, then God bless those people. Thank you. Give us their names so we can tip them.
Very much so. The only thing I would say is this: whether in history, right? We always look through history from the eyes of the victor, right? That is the truth through every other lens of history.
Okay.
We do look at through the history of the victors, like in United States history, right?
I got
We
you.
look
I
at-
agree.
Through the let's look at the
Eyes
Civil
of the
War,
victor.
right? Yes.
But you don't have to. I got it. Okay, continue.
We don't look at through the tragedy. So when people get assassinated, killed, or there's a violent massacre, we ignore the sufferings of the people who rose up in certain situations, right?
There's the violent massacre.
That is true. So, with that being said, I just think in certain situations, right, when the Iranian people rose up and the government shut it down, there's been many circumstances that in the world that has been ignored when people have rose up against their government and it got shut down and it's been ignored.
So you're saying,
And
I just want, you're saying
I
that
want
if
to-
the Iranian people lose, then the casualties will be ignored.
And it has been in so many situations, right?
Okay, I agree.
And then, with that being said, and then outside forces get involved, and they were interested in trying to wanting this as well. They were joining the forces of these people, saying, "Hey, we want this too. We want with the protesters. They're aligning with the protesters, right? We want these outside forces." So that's my only point. So I will let you go.
Thank you, my friend. I didn't do it. I tried, but I don't have access. Thank you for coming up. It's always good to hear. I'm glad you were able to do your research on it. I don't think we're in line with our numbers, but that's okay. Progress, not perfection. This is exactly why I'm there. And I think you were trying to get at that is if Iran loses, then those people will be forgotten. Yeah, that sucks. And I agree that history is typically taught through the eyes of the victor. I totally agree. Okay, thank you. I gave him 1 minute and he got Bush. Come on, be nice. That happens in any war. I agree. AJS, you're saying good job, buddy. Thank you, Redneck. Right. They shut it down by mowing them down. Okay, that's not true. People think the Native Americans were peaceful. True. What's this guy's point? You see you later. Bye-bye. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, can someone find them 900? Listen, sometimes people get a little nervous when they get up on mic. It's okay. I appreciate that he heard something. Clearly, he didn't agree with it. Then he did research and he came back to be like, okay, you know what? I'm more updated on this topic and I can kind of see your logic. Fantastic. That's a huge win. Is the argument that every country's moral obligation to step in to help other people? Kate, is that the argument? I'm gonna simplify this, Kate. And I swear that most people have the same view, and I know you do. I think, God, I'm gonna sound like hippie. I'm really gonna sound like hippie, and I know someone's gonna get pissed. I'm just gonna say screw it. As a society, we now have the technology where we can self-destruct. Not even as a society, like whatever we are, as a civilization, as a collective group of people, we now have the ability to self-destruct. That's really scary. Theoretically speaking, one sick lunatic has the power to cause a lot of issues, to change the world forever. And there's a lot of people who would have egos to do it. I think now, because we have this technology, it's our job as a society, as a civilian, whatever that word I'm looking for is. Please let me know what the words I'm looking for is. to make sure that we take care of each other. So you know what? I hand to God, ask my wife. I am totally the kind where if I saw, and you guys all were too, if I saw a mother hitting their kid, I'm going to intervene. And I think if I was put myself in a higher position, I probably wouldn't be a good president because I would be spending, American people would be pissed. They're like, you're spending all of our money helping the world problems. Like, okay, but the world has issues and someone has to do something about it. And like I know I'm biased with Iran and I understand a lot of you guys hate Trump and don't think his intentions are fine. Fine, whatever. If you just go by what he does, he's weakening the IRGC. If the IRGC gets weak enough, the people get an opportunity to live and they get to give freedom. And there's 92, 93 million who are now free. He did his part. If he makes all these other things are going to get better. I think we need to focus on progress, not perfection. Getting rid of the IRGC is progress. So yes, Kate, to give a really long-winded answer, I think it is the world's issue to make the world a better place. If not Pahlavi, who can lead Iran past Islam? I think it has to be. By the way, the poll was in-person interviews. Moo. Hey, welcome back, Moo. Even I don't want to talk about polls. We'll have another day polls. Actually, Moo, this is interesting. For those of you who joined, we had a very interesting conversation with someone regarding polls and how polls are conducted when you have a place where you don't have free speech. So if it's illegal to say, I hate the government, and you go to a poll room, she's saying it's in person. And one of the questions is, do you hate the government? And you say yes. That's dangerous. You're probably not getting good data. I actually had someone message me. They wrote book. They are like a poll, whatever. What would you call it? Like a poll statistician? Something cool. They sent me a documentary of some sort. I have not yet had the opportunity to watch it, but polls would be an interesting topic. I would rather it be us so we stay ahead of the world. Angela, I think that's reasonable. Do you support intervention? If for like drug intervention, yeah, for sure. I want people to be okay. If not Pahlavi, who can lead past the Islamic Revolution? There's probably a lot of people who can do it, but you need the people to unite, and I think Pahlavi's the answer. And for those of you who hate Pahlavi, I encourage you to do this. He was on a 60 Minutes. It's not 60 minutes, it's 14 minutes. It was really, really good. One of you guys said watch it, and ignorantly I did it. I did just last night or the day before. It was really good. The host was borderline rude to him, really aggressive, really he said calm under pressure. He was polite. He was very presentable. When he talked about stories, you literally saw the emotion coming, like this guy cares. 100% sold on him after seeing that. Well, I'd ask why the mother was beating the kid. That's fair. You're right, darling. Thank you. 1,000,000%. As humankind. Agree. Yes, I agree. It was just confused all over the conversations. See, Kate, I told you. You're a good person. We all are. How about U.S. and Israel? They're arrogant. That's not nice, Gabriel. Palm Beach Pete and Trump are with Moses a bit. Palm Beach Pete is something else. Facts. Thanks, Aaron. Okay. We still had more guests. We had a lot of guests. Okay, we had Kintaro again. Should I bring Kintaro back up? I kind of feel bad because he just dropped. I'm thrilled Trump went into weekend. Joyce, I appreciate that. Thank you. Thanks, Tony. It has to be Pahlavi. The people want him, and it's not anyone's choice but the persons themselves. 100% agree, Fatima. Beautifully said. And I think it's really important because a lot of times people come up and they'll be like, well, Trump said that he needs to have a say. Fine. He could have a say behind closed doors. And I'm not even saying fine. He shouldn't. It should be the Iranian people's. But realistically, fine. You know what? He did talk about Pahlavi. He said, Pahlavi, seems like a nice guy. I don't know if he's popular enough. I don't know if the people would support him enough to do it. Then he said, but if he did, I think he'd do fine. What, you expect a global leader, you expect the most powerful man in the world to give an endorsement to an opposition leader? You can't do that, right? Then people are already say that Pahlavi is a puppet. Picture if Trump's like, oh, we got to get this guy in. He's great. Greatest thing ever. Like, it wouldn't work, right? So 100% Fatima. 100%. I don't think so. What do you not think, Darlene? Spot on. We overthrew the democratic Mossadegh in Iran. Geeky, you should go talk to Kaveh. He has a very different perspective and lens. My lens is that he was not democratically elected. He was elected into parliament. Parliament elected him into president. And then it got muddy. What I can say is, the courtesy of Kaveh, and if you were here, someone said I was short patient. If I was here, first of all, again, he knows a lot of stuff. We don't 100% agree on our sources, which is fine. But he enlightened me a lot to more of the history of Mossadegh. He was not good. He was not a good guy. I think Trump knows that people don't want a radical and would support. I agree. Okay, I'm out though. I just wanted to point out how he dismissed the poll because it was a phone when it was the lady referencing 13-year-old polling data in Iran. Bye, Mo. I hope to see you again. Some are fearing Moo, sweet name. Some are fearing civil war. What's your take? Sorry if it's been discussed. I'm late to the discussion. Hey, it's okay. I think a civil war is, I don't want to say it. It's almost inevitable at this point. I don't think the IRGC is going to step down. I don't think all the Basijis are going to step down. So I think it's going to get to a point where you're going to have to eradicate them. And I don't think it's going to be pretty. I was always saying no boots on ground, no boots on ground, no boots on ground. I was always saying don't arm the people, don't arm the people. The people already appear to be armed. So in some fashion. And so now I'm saying do what we have to do to get rid of them. The issue was I was very optimistic it was going to be like a 4-week, 6-week timeline, right? I swear the day this happened, this is just, it goes to show you the hopium, Hopium, it's a made up word, the hopium that the Iranian people had. My father, God bless him, when this first happened, was looking for flights to bring his wife here. He's like, oh, this is great. 6 weeks, I'm going to be back. I'm like, then he was like, okay, no more than 2-3 months. Alex, no, 2-3 months, that's it. Now he's like, no more than 5 years. 5 years, they're done. No problem, it's done. So, I think it's a war zone. I was able to use my SEPA card to get priority boarding for my active. Bring up the Kestif. Okay. Okay. I don't, they're going to step down. Yeah, Darlene, I don't think they're either. If you live in Florida, I'm reporting you to DeSantis. I don't live in Florida. Ayatollah Palm Beach P. Ooh. Pam says you're exhausting. I think she's speaking for a lot of people. Sorry, didn't mean to say that out loud. Okay, come on, Kitaro, I accepted it. Do you want it or not? I'm giving it to you, my friend. Pahlavi has already stated once the regime is gone, his job is done. Well, I didn't see that. I think, Coach, he could have, but he came up with that transitionary plan, right? So once the regime is gone, you need a transitional leader for a year, 2 years to kind of get everything up and running, and he's volunteered himself as a transitionary leader. What's funny is there's been quite a few people who have volunteered themselves as transitionatory leader. Okay, then you know what? I've accepted the position too. Not really. But there's been quite a few. Okay, the guy didn't want to. IRGC, protect the people of Iran. Who are you? 60 followers. Not real. AJ, get him. I think Trump is trying to give IRGC as much chance to negotiate as he can before they. Rare Sherry, it's looking like that. It's looking like he's being extremely patient. I volunteer myself as transition leader. HAS. You're not qualified. Okay, you could be it. He didn't rule it out, but he wouldn't commit to becoming that person. Okay. Alex, you could be the leader. No, texting you. Like, the biggest issue is that when I speak Farsi, I have the vocabulary of, like, maybe a 7-year-old. I thought it was like 5 or 6, but apparently it's 7 or 8. But the Pahlavi's biggest criticism is that he's not been in Iran for 47 years. And so if it's not going to be Pahlavi, then you really want someone who was active in the opposition and well-known and well-respected. I think that's important because you're going to need someone that the people trust and you're going to need someone that the people will listen to. And so they're going to be like, who are you? Actually, they'll be like, oh my God, are you Brad Pitt? And I'm going to be like, no, George Clooney. Oh, I see it. But they're not going to listen to George Clooney, you know? I think Iran government is doing a great job. Okay. You think Iran's government is doing a great job? Okay, come and talk to me. 50,000 followers and you only talk doctors. Come and talk to me. Hi.
Hi.
How's it going? How are you?
All good. How are you? All good.
Fantastic. So are you Iranian?
No, but I'm from Afghanistan.
Okay. Thank you for
I
being
came to-
honest.
Yep. I came to USA about 6 to 7 years ago, and
Okay.
I'm studying psychiatry. So I also do analyzation of politics. So sometime, yeah.
Cool. What's going on?
Everything is fine. The only thing that I believe is that right now, Irani GOV or government is doing a great job regarding international law. So yeah, I want to know because I'm not Irani and I don't know what's going on really in Iran with the people who support right now USA. I want to just see if there is any logic behind what these Pahlavi supporters are doing. So I'm open to that to listen, and also
Yeah.
I'm open to understand any logic behind this issue,
Yeah, I
which
understand.
reflect international law.
Okay, so doctor, what kind of doctor are you?
I'm psychiatrist.
Okay. What do you know about the IRGC?
As far as I know, they are Sipahi Pastaran, which mean
I know what you mean. Yeah, but what do they do?
how they created. If we go to the history,
No,
they're
no, no.
basically
I understand the history, but I'm more so
Yeah.
saying, like, what do they do in 2025? What are their view? How do the people view them? What have they done to the people?
if you are asking me what they do right now, I will just tell you based on what I'm seeing and what I analyze, they are defending their country.
Prior to that, what were they doing in January?
I think that's why whenever I debate people, I want them to debate me in a very logical way. So if you're asking me what, like for example, if you're asking me what do they do, I should quote you the thing that is official or also that's a base fact on media. Now you can tell me that no, they're not doing this. In my house, my uncle said they are killing me. So your uncle is not an official. He is not Trump. He is not CNN. He's
No,
not Fox
that's fine.
News.
Okay, so then
You know what
Trump-
I'm saying?
Yeah. Trump said that the IRGC unalived 45,000 protesters. He said peaceful protesters. So there's an official source from Trump.
I agree. Yeah, and let's let me ask you this: who is Trump? Is he?
Well, you said he's a
No, let me explain to you. I'm saying like, who is Trump? Is he
president.
a person who is not involved in this world, in this war? So if you're talking, I can give you a reference. You can go to Fox News. They're saying what you're saying. But then if you go to CNN, they're saying a different story. If you go to Simo Sadai Iran, they're saying a different story. If you go to Al Jazeera, they're saying totally different story.
We're gonna check CNN real quick. But okay, so I guess my question is, if you take the lowest number, you're still getting 5,000, 6,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 protesters. That's
Yeah.
from Iran's own government.
Yeah.
You think that's okay?
No, totally
Okay.
not.
So then, if that's not okay, are you okay with the IRGC being taken out? Should they still be in there if they're unaliving their own people who are protesting?
Let me be honest with you, and that's a honest question that you asked. So I'm just trying to understand I'm trying to understand your ideology. I have to say that it's your country, and if they're doing anything wrong, you should defend your country and your people. I cannot say that right now in Afghanistan there are Taliban and they're doing worse stuff to Afghans. So I should be defending Afghans. I'm not going to come to Trump and say, hey, bombard my country because I'm a weak person. I cannot defend my people. So you bombard them, you kill them, and then I will go and become a king there. That's not logical. If you think that you have to fight for your country and you have to fight for your people, you should fight. You should not drug
Okay,
other
let me ask you
country.
this: who is the
I mean,
IRGC?
you should not drug other.
Okay.
Let me finish here. You should not drug other country to solve your issue. Right now, you're sitting in America. The people of America are paying tax, which I'm also included, to fight for your problem in Iran. So you and Pahlavi could go there and be free in a democratic way. Dude, it's your
Can I have
problem.
a turn now?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Sorry, now I forgot what I was going to say. Damn it. What happened? They shouldn't be giving people psychiatric advice. Okay. First of all, even CNN says there's a lot of people who are unalive. My question that I wanted to ask was, who is the IRGC defending against? Who are they defending? Are they defending the people of Iran? No. That's the Artish's job. You know who they're defending? The regime of Iran. Do you know who wants the regime of Iran? Not a lot of people. Not a lot of people globally. If you did an analysis on how many global people want the IRGC, it'd be like damn near none. Yeah. Okay. You dropped. I didn't drop you. My hands are here. But I want you to answer that question. I didn't drop. You see my hands are here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You something. Come on. Answer my question.
Maybe you have a moderator. I don't know. Like
it could be one of my moderators.
I have no idea.
But
anyway, what was your question? So
my question
was,
hold on, doctor. Yeah, fine. Listen. Who is the IRGC defending?
Sorry, what? Come again? Who is our IRGC defending?
Yes. U.S. is attacking them. Who are they defending? The people of Iran?
They are defending the land of Iran and the people of Iran. Let me tell you
totally
this.
Not. They are defending. They are defending the regime that's in Iran.
Yeah.
That's holding 93 million people hostage.
Yeah. I agree with you. And let me use your logic. Like, I'm not disagreeing with you. I totally agree. I'm saying you're telling me that IRGC is controlling 19 million people.
93,
how much they are? Sorry, bro. I want to know, how much are these army? Are they 2 million?
200,000 IRGC members. Then there's 200,000 Basij members that are active. There's 600,000 more that are on reserve. So you have a lot of people.
In total, how much they are?
So let's say 400,000 legit people.
Great.
And that's
now I will use your logic and I will let people to decide.
Okay.
So let's assume this army is 1 million and now you got 19 million people. Mm-hmm. How much people are disagree with current regime from 19 million people?
80-90%.
Okay, now if you say 80-90%, it means like 18 million people are disagree with the current government.
Correct. 92%
and
according
only
to
1 million army are controlling 18 million people.
Exactly. So, isn't that bad?
Yeah. So what I'm going to tell you, now these 18 million people that cannot fight for their own country,
correct,
and for their own democracy,
right?
Why me as an American should pay my tax, and why my army should go and fight for you guys? 18 million are sitting in their home and they're saying, oh, we're scared to die, but Trump should die. The soldier of America should die. And Americans should pay the bill and should pay the tax so we can free you that right now.
Okay. Not going to deal with unaliving threats to the U.S. If I wanted to deal with that, I'd just go back to Iran and read the billboard. So, okay, that's not cool. So that's like we crossed the line there. Sorry. If your point was that there's 80 million people, I'm not bringing it back up. If your point was there's 80 million people, and the 80 million people only have to fight against 1 million people, then why it's not our problem. That's fine. I hear you. They've been trying. They have sticks and stones. The other people have tanks. It's not fair. If your logic is, well, listen, you're thinking this isn't a video game where you have KDR, where you have an unalive/unalive ratio. People have one life. And would you and 100 of your friends go out to protect, to go get rid of a tank? No, a tank can take out thousands. Doesn't make sense. So if your argument, though, was, well, it's U.S. shouldn't be there, fine. I understand that that's your point. I have no debate. I have no desire to debate whether U.S. should be there or shouldn't be there. Because guess what? They're there. I don't want another North Korea. I sure don't want another North Korea. Maybe he should go back to Afghanistan. Saqib was right about it. Bad boy. Okay. I've been learning how to read this. It's Allah-i. Allah-i. Your name says God. Okay. Okay, Timmy. Saqib was right about it. You bet it isn't fair. Regimes are never fair. Amen. His reasoning was not logical, unlike what he wanted to believe. It was not very logical. I had a hard time, like, I don't mean to be rude. I had a hard time. It got dragged out a little and makes it hard for me to focus. Maybe you can, you're a psychologist, maybe you can give me some Ritalin or something and make me focus better. I'm American. I am an American, okay? He's upset about taxes. Look, taxes are high. All new weapons will be in Iran. Okay. I think we had fun. The people of Iran already made a huge effort that came at a tremendous cost. Trump said, wait now. Torch, that is such a beautiful thing to say. You're totally right. I 100% agree with you. How much more do you want these people to do? You want them to go unalive 50 million people? And accomplish half of them? How many people could an F-16 take out? A lot. Def don't want to take medical advice from him. He thinks about it as freeing people when it's about stopping them from hitting the world. Fatima, we didn't even... That is such a good point that we didn't even need to. Like, that goes into the why. And the why is a lot harder. My job's not to convince people. My job's not to convince you that, oh, it's good that it's here. I'm glad that the U.S. is here. That's not an argument I'm after. The argument that I'm after is, we're here, okay? And so what you should be doing is rooting for the Iranian people and at least understand their viewpoint. That's it. That's literally my goal here. My goal here is for people to not be like, well, the U.S. is now, not only should they be in a war that they don't belong in, but now they're just these poor people of Iran. They're getting this government taken out, and they love the government. The government's good. No. I don't care about the first part of your narrative. I care about that second, right? So that's my goal here. Okay, we understand. Thanks, CJ. The bullies are all our allies. Also, everyone wants to be passive, but not realistic. Kirdana, Dudana, Doctor. Okay, I realized where I went wrong. Can I explain? Kate, send me a message, Kate. Did you request that? All right. Kate requested up. We're going to give her 30 seconds. She realized where she went wrong. No problem. And then we're going to call it. Do me one favor. As Kate's talking, I try to make it more interactive. If I'm being transparent, we had much, much bigger numbers, but this is a little bit more fun. Is it more fun for you guys, or should I go back to doing the history stuff? Let me know, because it takes like a stupid long time to research it, and it's not scalable. This is like no stress. My eye twitched. You see that? It means I'm getting tired. I twitched. This is more fun? Okay. And I think it'll grow with, both are important. We are agreeing we should want to protect the people. Okay. I like this. Good, Aaron. Thank you. No stress. Thanks, Darlene. One and all shows. Enough history. Okay, Huckleberry. I learned what you said. I listened to you. Mission accomplished. Thank you. Thanks, Bill. Okay, how can I join the video? Okay. Amber, I'm tapping out after this. You know, I do Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I don't tap out that frequently, but tonight I'm going to tap out. Both janky. Okay, maybe we'll figure it out. Time starts. Kate! I think you should break it up. I prefer history. Okay, Devin, girl. The history is always going to be at the beginning. So the first 10, 15 minutes, I can't bring a guest up because then the algorithm, for whatever reason, it punishes me. I don't understand this algorithm yet. All right, we're trying for Kate. Don't do it. Don't do what? All right, we tried, Miss Kate. Send me a message. What time do you normally start? I try to get in at 10:15, but recently it's been a lot later. He taps out faster when I punish this. Oh my God. All right, my friends. Kate, it's not working. We gave her a minute. My mod controls are not working. Thank you. Everyone, have a great night. I had a lot of fun. I hope you guys had fun too. We shall be on at some point. Peace, love, and thank you guys for everything. I should be able to end this. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Rosie. Thank you guys all. Bye, CJ. Bye, Kate. Good night, Pam. Good night, Amanda. Amanda, I sent you a long message. I answered. It was like, it took me an hour to research it. Yardan. Good night. Good night, Jules. CJ, good night. Bill, good night. Root for the Iran people. Thank you. Vanos. Shabachir. Amber, good night. Jeff, good night. We'll talk. Beautiful.
Oh, Aldous. Aldous, how many cups do you still need?